made the save. Well, that, I hope so.
Thinking you might give Richie a second line look at him again? Or?
No. Actually, I shouldn't say no. Is that because of practice today, or is it
Yeah.
something? Marsh is out, so someone has to go up there without messing up all the other lines. So we just plug in. So I shouldn't say no. If Marshy can't play, people got to move around. Could be Coyle back in there, or Lindholm more in the middle. Could be Heinen moving up, and could be Richie or Wagner. It could be York moving up, and Heinen stays there. So we've got some options. Haven't thought that far ahead, because I assume Marsh should be ready to play. If he's not, then we'll have to look at it closer.
What do you thought of the stretch that McAvoy's been on of late?
Well, I mean, he's always going to play a lot of minutes, always going to play against top line. We've shared that responsibility a little more lately with Carlos. I think that's freed him up to get going the other way a little bit, or at least that's the plan. And it doesn't always work out that way, because some lines, second lines are equally as talented as the first. You know, and some teams are well balanced, so you've got to be careful there. But I think he's pushing the pace a little more, trying to be more involved as a second layer of offense. I think he's shooting the puck more in the power play. So a little more dynamic, I guess, in the offensive part.
Not worried at all that, you know, you're still waiting to get that first one? Doesn't matter, does it?
I'm not worried. I would have liked to see him get it yesterday, because we needed it. Florida, we didn't. Tampa, we needed it. So yeah, I want him to score when we need the goals. For his sake, that'd be great to get one, because only he can answer that if it's bottom.
So Michelle's out there today, well, do you need to go back down to get some games, or do you think you could use him right away?
That's a good question. My guess is, because he hasn't played that much at this level, they probably need games to get ready. He's obviously closer. He's a normal color jersey, so every day he's a little closer to getting cleared to play. It's not cleared yet. But you know, I'll answer that as we get closer. But my guess is he'd have to probably go play, just because there's unfamiliarity with the league.
Were you encouraged that in his games earlier that
I was.
he
I
could
thought
be a contributor
he
here?
did his job. You know, he's one of those guys that hasn't earned his way yet, or we haven't used him, however you look at it, on power play or penalty kills. So it's all, you know, even strength minutes, so you can get lost some nights in that role. We've seen that with Brett a little bit, getting the motor turned on when you got to sit for extended periods. And that's where I thought he did a decent job for us. If he didn't play for a young guy, sometimes their mind wanders, they lose focus, but I thought he went out and stayed true to his game, got on pucks, protected in the ozone. I thought he influenced the play well for us for the most part. So it's too bad when he got hurt, because I thought he was gaining a little bit of confidence there and starting to see what we had. So he has to start over a little bit, but hopefully he picks up where he left off, whether it's here or Providence, and gains a little confidence from that, knowing that there's a role for him in this league.
Do you see him as a top 6 or top 9 or what?
Right now, I wouldn't put him in there, because I haven't seen the finish of a top 6. But with our hole there, that we've used different guys, there's nothing to say he wouldn't get an opportunity there. You know, if and when that situation dictates itself. Probably more a third line guy that could complement a guy like Charlie Coyle that hangs on to the puck, you know, win some races. He's not a guy that's going to drive the line. We don't expect anyway, but support it with some good speed and get to the net. And he did that with Charlie, so that was encouraging. And then you want to grow his role, maybe like we've done with New York on the penalty kill. That's probably where he'd get a look because of his speed. He'd have to, you know, make sure that he has, you know, work on his angles, a good stick, all the things that Henderson's done. So I'd see him more in that role, so maybe third line type of guy. Fourth line, we kind of like, you know, we have those pieces, I believe. We just got to get them up and running every day, but there'd be an opportunity there.
Bruce, with Brandon, can you encourage offensive participation any more this year than in years past, or is he just getting more breaks?
We've always tried to encourage it with Brian. I know when I started as assistant, I certainly wanted him to. He saw something in Providence where he could. World Juniors, I think he made some good plays, so there was something in there. Then he gets gravitated towards that shutdown PK role, and I think your mindset just changed a little bit to be a little more guarded in your chance taking. Now he's trying to build more of that game. And some of it's, he's been in the league a little bit, feels that there's more there to give. And we agree with him. So yeah, I think he got fortunate last night, but he did put on net. If you put the puck on net, sometimes you get those breaks over the course of 82 games. So good for him. I think he's been trying to be involved and keep pucks alive. That's where he can pick up some assists,
Like last night, I mean, he hung in there at the point rather than just.
Yeah, and in the past, he might have been a little more guarded, like I said, to get out and be conservative, which he's got to make that decision. We've encouraged him to get there, be on times. He's got good feet, good stick, long body. Just he's got to be comfortable doing that. I think what Brandon happens is, after he has a bit of a hiccup, it takes him a while to get back up. So that's also the part we're working on, the mental part of it. Listen, put it behind him. Almost perfect. So that'll be the test for him the next time something goes wrong with the offensive blue entity sticks with him.
Two more? There are two.
Danton's goal last night. You toggled with the low guy on the power play. I mean, you like invented plays for those guys. I mean, you always describe Jake or like.
Well, this play was talked about in pre-scale. Two reasons. We always look at what is the opposition doing. Do they play away from their net, their D? Without getting, their top forward kind of sweeps across, their middle forward was holding the middle of the ice. So when it changes side, whoever gets it at the top of the circle or the elbow, flank, whatever we want to call it, has some time to attack the net. We knew that would happen. The D comes out and confronts it. So what we saw was an opportunity to throw it into the back door, back post, against a defense like that. Depending on whether their net front D came out to Berge in the bumper or not, most teams are going to end up coming out to them. So we talked about that has to be a play. We've talked about that for a while. It has to be option, say 4 after bumper, elbow, maybe Torrey Marshy switch. And good for them. And we also talked to Dan, believe it or not, about you're allowed to angle the puck off your feet as long as you don't kick it. That's a good goal nowadays, all day long. So good for him. He took it to heart, played, positioned his body that it could win off his stick, off his skates, angled his stick. Good hockey IQ. Good for him. Put himself in the right spot. So if he can do that, you should see that more often against certain types of kills, even from pass to the other side. We tried it with Jake a little bit earlier this year. We didn't have as much luck. Pucks got through there, and for whatever reason they didn't go in. So that might be an option you'll see a little more of, and good for them for executing because that was what was available.
Brandon's
I was wondering,
Steve.
He's aiming for that side of he's aiming for the far post, so it's outside of a quick. You get a little bit lucky because he's not as tall, but tomorrow, I don't know which goal they're going to use, but if he's a long Pecorine, you're going to have to be farther outside the post because if it goes into the butterfly, it's not going to get past his pad. So he's actually aiming for over there, that vicinity, but it doesn't have to be right on the tape in that situation if he angles his skates. And like I said, Dan did a good job with it.